Yoke blouse design is going to be the all-in-one yoke front and back with the mandarin collar, the gathered front and back, and the gathered sleeve. Let's get started. This will be a step-by-step process to guide you through the basic elements of this basic top, and so you can design and create more with Yoke Design blouses. Supplies you're going to need for this project is medium weight draping muslin, pattern making paper, all three rulers, the hip curve, the French curve, the straight clear plastic ruler, fabric scissors, paper scissors, pencils, weights, tape, pins, and a sleeve sloper. This is my gusset sleeve sloper to my three-piece dress sloper that is available on a PDF form on my website. I will be using this special sleeve for the process. Let's get started. A yoke shirt or yoke blouse design indicates a flat portion segment or piece that is on the upper part of the body. Usually you'll see just one little section here in the back on a man's shirt style with a little bit of tucking going here, but you'll also see in women's blouses and designs and tops that you can have a design coming to the front. It can be anywhere from the shoulder tip to the center front. It can be on the armhole also to the center front, and it can be very, very low and dramatic if you'd like. But I'm trying to show you an all-in-one drape yoke. So I'm going to do an average or a classic yoke design, and I'm just going to put my adhesive tape here on the center front like that and secure it with a few pins. Torn block piece for the yoke. It's going to be 17 by 17 inches. So I'm tearing down to 17 inches, like this. Then I'm going to tear to 17 inches across. Make a snip going downward. Now I'm going to block this piece, which is stretching it on both sides to get a nice squared corners. Seal it in with pressing. Let's get it marked. We're going to go on the left side here, and we're going to go 1 inch from that side, put a mark, and pull a grain. And then from that mark, we're going to go 1.5 inches over, like that. We're going to pull another grain about halfway down on the muslin itself. And then we're going to cut out halfway to that 1.5 inch mark, like this. Remove that piece. I'm going to fill in this side over here with my pencil. I'm going to turn this under and press it. That'll be the center back neckline. And we'll get on the dress form. Let's start the draping process. I also put a 1/2 inch parallel mark over here to that little cut edge. That is going to be the intersection of the center back and the neckline. I'm going to secure it all the way down the center back to the design line and just a little bit past the design line. As you can see, you need to put the pins on the opposite direction so that your muslin is sturdy. I'm going to hold this torn area here, and now I'm going to show you with my left hand because I want you to see. I'm going to smooth over that line to the intersection of the neckline like that. Put a pin there, we have to release that tension, and I'm going to clip all the way down to that pin like that. Carefully, trying not to go past the actual seam of the neckline. Now we're going to smooth over the shoulder and continue this to the center front. I'm going to put a pin here at the center front. This is also fighting, as you can see, and has to be released. This is very important. Do not go past your seam of your neckline, but clip downward in various areas in order to release that tension. Taking the pins out, smooth again, like that. I'm carrying it all the way to the center front. You are now going to get a bias seam at the center front. We have a straight grain at the center back that'll also be able to be put on fold. So then I have it here smooth. I will clip just a little bit more, like that. Clip off the excess. Take it out. Smooth again till you get it where it is very smooth. Like that. Clip, but be very mindful of that seam. She has a very fat neck, so I'm going to go up as high as I can on mine. Now we're going to do the marking process. The intersection of the center front and neckline, dot all the way down the center front, like that. Dot underneath or in the middle of your design tape, just like that. It is also important, I'm going to put some pins like this to hold it down and remove some of this excess. You can see here on the shoulder, you need those intersections. This is the shoulder seam and the intersection of the armhole. Pull it taut and dot on the ridge of that armhole. Put an intersection at the armhole and design tape. Dot all the way up the neckline in the groove itself. Find the intersection of the shoulder and the neckline there. Continue dotting around the neckline like this. On the back, you're going to dot on the tape, design tape, just like this. Again, have the intersection of the back yoke and the armhole intersection. Pull the fabric down and dot on the actual ridge of the armhole like that. You can put extra pins wherever you need to make sure that your marking process is accurate. Once it's accurate, let's take it off and put it on the flat. Let's true this piece, correcting all the lines and markings with rulers. I'm going to go in the center back and make a perpendicular line about 1/4 inch there. I'm going to use my French curve and connect the dots as much as I can. Put parallel markings around that neckline in order to give my seam allowance of 1/4 inch. Center front should be 1/2 inch. Design line, 1/2 inch. Armhole, 1/2 inch. Back design line, 1/2 inch. Cut out the excess. Clipping off that point, carrying around the neckline. Let's reapply it to the dress form. Putting it back on the dress form, neckline intersection and center back, pinning it down. And sometimes it's helpful to turn it back at the center front just so you can see what's going on. I'm going to go down a little bit further here and clip just a little bit further to release a little bit more of that tension. Okay, the all-in-one yoke is completed. That's enough for this video. Stay tuned for the next video, which I'm going to be draping the front gathered panel to the yoke blouse design. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.